this property runs this community. A lot of people from this community work here. They're proud of this. This has got a lot of history here. And then when you think about the beauty with the hills, the mountains, the trees, the water.
One thing about this place is one of the words he kept saying, family. It's a place that when my family, everyone comes, they treat you like family. They treat you like you're one of their own. And it's, obviously when you look at the place, you look at the rooms, everything, it's like taking a step back in time. And I think that's an absolutely amazing place to be able to put your phone down and slow everything down. I mean, the world these days is so fast. Everything has to get done so quickly. And every time I've come here with my family, Greenbrier, it's like everything stops and it's slow motion. You actually get to enjoy life, enjoy your time with family.
Just this place feels like I'm a kid again. You get out here, you see nature, you see the trails, you see going on a hike. I grew up in Fresno. We'd go up to the mountains every once in a while, and that's just kind of what it feels like a little bit. Obviously, it's more forested here and whatnot, but the 58, I don't know how to explain it, just kind of semi-blacked out, you can kind of say. It was one of those moments where the last 4 holes, I was obviously trying to win a tournament, but it started to rain, and I just kept focusing on my game. I didn't get outside of this bubble that I created with myself. I just wanted to focus on hitting the next best shot. And I think that's what really pushed me on to focusing on obviously winning the tournament, but to shoot in the 50s and then ultimately make the 40-foot on the last hole for 58. That was just the cherry on top. And what a special moment, a special place in my heart forever, and probably one of the most special moments in my entire life.
This is SportsGrid. I'm Gabriel Morency, the Pittsburgh Players, the Hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. Level 2 has begun. We've got a jam-packed show tonight, as always. Countdown to kickoff is on. College football less than 2 weeks away. NFL football rapidly approaching, and it's contest season right now. I'm legitimately really fired up for this. And we've won money in these contests before in past years. We've always been excited for them, but I tweeted this out last night. A lot of people agreed. There's a special feel in the air this year. It's just like, and how can there not be? Like, we used to talk before about winning the Superbook contest. And, it was like 400K or 600K. And I always say, if I ever win this thing, I'm just going to take the money and I'm going to go right up to a condo and I'm just going to buy a property on the spot cash. Right? And that was a big thing. It was like, you got like 200K. It was even at the Palms. I remember I was all lit up one night. I saw a Palms condo I liked. I was like, man, if I get 250K, I'll just walk in cash, like right on the spot. Like I'll leave the Westgate. I'll just get in an Uber right up the street. Hey, give me the keys. I just bought this unit cash, baby. It was like 250 in the old days. But it wasn't life-changing money. You know what I mean? All the time it was like, it'd be nice to win 100. Like, $10 million is life-changing money. Let's bring in a man right now that lives this magic all the time at this time of the year. Best proxy in the business, been my proxy for over a decade. Vegas Matty and Tony. Vegas Matty, good to see you, man. How you doing tonight?
Good to see you guys. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. We got a full 3 weeks left, 4 weekends left. Man, it's getting crazy here. You see the entry totals. Jeff Benson at Circa projecting over 11,000 entries in the Circa Survivor contest. God. That's over $11 million, Gabe.
Now up to 11. My God, 11,000 people.
We'll see. That's the pace they're at right now.
But you've been around this game a long time, and so have I. And I remember before there used to be the annual golf tournament, and there'd be different weekends and stuff. But it's almost like you can start the season tomorrow when the contest is already big. Like, between the Bet Bash last week and everybody else and the constant, you know what I mean? There's been a lot of promotions and different parties and events going on. Like, is this like I said, there just seems to be like a lot of magic in the air about this. Hell, I saw your retweet. You got a guy that came from Guatemala to enter the contest.
Yeah, it's actually his second year.
He flew all the way. So if you're out there, guys, right now tuning in, You're like, well, I like to enter the contest, but I can't go to Vegas. This guy just flew from Guatemala. Shut the hell up. You can't come from Pittsburgh or Vancouver or Toronto. Come on.
He's committed.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Is that the furthest someone's come? You've got Germany. I know Germany, England, whatever is kind of common, but
wow.
Who else? Like what globally? Is Guatemala the furthest one?
Yeah, England, Germany, Mexico. Guatemala. This guy's second year in a row. He was kind of pissed. He went out in the Survivor contest early last year, and he's ready. He wants to take Derek's money from him, so he's in it to win it. You know.
God, imagine $10 million in Guatemala, man. He's going to be the president.
You're right, Gabe.
Exactly, right? He might be able to buy the whole
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money anywhere, 10 million. Man, go back. I got to be real, though. That's where, like, you don't go back after.
No, you don't go
you
back.
don't tell people you won the 10 million.
Like, he's dead unless he has a fortress.
You don't tell people. People are savages, man. I saw last night in Miami, someone, and get this, guys, it was $3,000 only. So this guy and his wife last night at the casino in Miami won $3,000. He made the mistake of celebrating. He said, I danced around a bit. I was so happy I won $3,000. Two guys followed him home with guns and shot him and his wife over $3,000. They both survived. But that's the whole thing. And I learned living there in the old days, Matt, about that. And Palace Station is so, you know what I mean? Remember in those days? I remember, man. One of the security guys taught me a lot of lessons when I was there. Don't celebrate. Never you never tell how much you have on the game.
Exactly.
But in today's day and age, man, there's parasites watching the parasites now, Matt, there in casinos and stuff, huh? It's crazy world, man.
Yeah, and you got to be a little careful down on Fremont Street, Gabe. So you going into Circa, that's like the Taj Mahal of Fremont Street. So you going in there to celebrate, and once January rolls around, you're going to see a lot of guys cashing a lot of big checks. But hopefully, it's you this year.
Yeah. You know what? That's why that's like Paul Bovey dresses down. You know, I'm going to dress down.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to roll in there with like a Rolex,
Joe,
Gabe, and like a custom-made suit. You're a target for these guys. I saw a guy get clipped at the El Cortez. Like, you can't be showing money there. Yeah.
I used to do the show every day at the Meadowlands in New York. So trust me, I caught on. The homeless people were the big bettors. And it was all a big, like, they weren't stupid. Like, I remember once there was a guy came in and he was taking, like, his ass crack was out in the bathroom. And he was, like, washing up. It was this guy known as Gary. And I was like, freaking Gary, man. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, this guy's too much, man. Like just one of those, like, slob-type racetrack guys. And one day the manager told me, he goes, man, it's all an act. He goes, the guy crushes us, got big money. He goes, just doesn't want to get robbed, wants people to think he's dumb and broke.
Very smart, my dear.
Like, man. Yeah. You get the guys coming in, the guys with the chains and all that. They're the ones betting $40. But so up to $11 million right now, unbelievable.
Well, that's what the pace is at the Circa Million, which is the Pick 5 contest. That's projected to be about 5,500. So you're looking at an overlay potentially of about 500,000, which would be pretty nice. So I think people are going to keep an eye on those numbers and kind of see where things fall. But you got about 3 full weeks left. And you know how those numbers are going to almost triple in the next few weeks. So it's unbelievable to think that our clientele is going to more than double in the last few weeks. So it's crazy to think that we're going to have that much business and that many people signing up these last few weeks.
I've always loved that Saturday, the Saturday that I'm going to be signing up with college football games on TV.
Yeah.
Is that your busiest weekend? Like that last crush, right?
Yeah, the last week, especially this year, we've got Thursday game and then the Friday game in Brazil, which is the Eagles and the Packers. So you got 2 games the last before even Sunday's games kick off in week 1. So it's going to be nuts going down to the finish line.
The technical cutoff too is before Sunday's games, right? Technically?
Saturday, September 7th is the last day to sign up. But I would definitely recommend. I know, Gabe, you're coming out before that last week. You're coming out Labor Day weekend, which I think is a good time to sign up, get in before all the madness starts that last few days.
Yeah. And you know why I just bring that up? Because there's some people that are using it as a strategy. They're hoping that people bet on, right? They're hoping that people bet on those first 2 games of the year, and they already lost, and they're already getting a little bit of revenge, Cam. You know what I'm saying? Somebody bets the Chiefs, somebody bets the Ravens.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought the same thing, too. I thought the same thing, too, and people were talking about this. Like, you get a little ahead of yourself about holding off.
Right.
Like, just put your picks in and play what you like. It's week 1, and you're worried about, like,
ooh, my strategy.
No, but these are the advantage guys, Cam, that they figure, you know what, I'll have a better edge if I wait until after the Friday night football game to jump in, because some people will lose. But I'm a degenerate, Matt, and Cam is too. I look at it, Cam, like, I don't know, I'm missing out. Some of these guys are going to be 2-0, and I'm going to be 0-0.
Yeah. Some of them are going to be 0-2 as well. Like I like your style, Morency. They'll bet the games.
I love betting on those Thursday games in the contest. No one likes betting them, Matt. Those in the weekly contests. I love attacking early and trying to, because it's usually a harder game. People don't want to mess with it. Survivor, I don't know, is a different strategy. Everyone's got a million different strategies. So on the other side, we'll get information. We'll let everyone know how they can hook up with Matt. I want to get into the Superbook contest too, not to neglect the oldest contest.
Yeah, exactly.
In the city, because I'm going to get into that one too. So I want to get an update. Where's that at? What's the potential prize going to be? And are there any others that we should know of? The Golden Nugget in the past used to have the college and the NFL split one. Stations has one. So we'll just sort of go over some of the contests on the other side with Vegas Matty.
This property runs this community. A lot of people from this community work here. They're proud of this. This has got a lot of history here. And then when you think about the beauty with the hills, the mountains, the trees, the water.
One thing about this place is one of the words he kept saying, family. It's a place that when my family, everyone comes, they treat you like family. They treat you like you're one of their own. And it's, obviously when you look at the place, you look at the rooms, everything, it's like taking a step back in time. And I think that's an absolutely amazing place to be able to put your phone down and slow everything down. I mean, the world these days is so fast. Everything has to get done so quickly. And every time I've come here with my family, Greenbrier, it's like everything stops and it's slow motion. You actually get to enjoy life, enjoy your time with family.
Just this place feels like I'm a kid again. You get out here and you see nature, you see the trails, you see going on a hike. I grew up in Fresno. We go up to the mountains every once in a while, and that's just kind of what it feels like a little bit. And obviously, it's more forested here and whatnot, but the 58, I don't know how to explain it. Just kind of semi-blacked out, you can kind of say. It was one of those moments where the last 4 holes, I was obviously trying to win a tournament, but it started to rain, and I just kept focusing on my game. I didn't get outside of this bubble that I created with myself. I just wanted to focus on hitting the next best shot. And I think that's what really pushed me on to focusing on obviously winning the tournament, but to shoot in the 50s and then ultimately make the 40-foot on the last hole for 58. That was just the cherry on top. And what a special moment, a special place in my heart forever, and probably one of the most special moments in my entire life.
This is Sports Rage. I'm Morency. We're kicking it Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, and more. We got our eye on the CFL game. Calgary 2nd and 14. I think they just picked up the first down, actually, from like their own goal line. They were really in a bad spot. Bagleton, I think, just got it. Underrated wide receiver in the CFL. Really good. Reggie Bagleton, great wide receiver. We're kicking it with Vegas Matty and Cam Stewart. And they were talking about the contest in Vegas, and I was fired up last night. We've been talking with the guests about it. Bovey was on, and, different people are going to be in the contests. And so I was already fired up last night just about football being back too. Like, I'm looking at these, I was going over week 1 college football totals and stuff, and my eyes are, I'm like, oh, I like that, and I like this. So I'm getting fired up. And then the movie Casino was on last night.
Ooh, yeah.
So
there you go.
yeah, and I've seen it like 99 million times already, but it's one of those movies that I can watch a million times. I saw it was on AMC or whatever it is, one of the networks. It's like 4 hours when it's on TV. But I recorded it, so I just fast forward through the commercials. Just a great sort of like Vegas sports. That got me fired up for the contest and everything. Yeah. Especially, I used to live there and see it. I was like, oh, yeah, I've been there.
Oh, yeah.
That's that diner. I used to go there all the time. So I'd see all these spots. I was like, man, can't wait to get back there and get into these contests. And speaking of which, you've got the Superbook contest. So this is like the granddaddy of them all. Used to be like the big boy. Derek Stevens came along. But still, this is still a prestigious contest that there's real money at stake. And very, very cool, which we got a piece of a couple of years ago, was they have the 3-week contest. And, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, best record of the month. I think they even pay out a prize to the worst record, actually, at the end of the year, if you're actually the worst.
That's Million does the booby prize.
Circa does that. Worse was it 100,000, Matty? If you're because it's hard.
Circa Million does booby prize, so they do like overall worst, and then every quarter they pay out 25,000. But the Super Contest does have 12 ways to win, including the overall prize. They pay out every 3 weeks, every 6 weeks, every 9 weeks, and I'll tell you a great story. So we had a guy a few years ago. He started out 10-19-1 through the first 6 weeks of the contest. You think, hey, you're out of it. There's no booby prize in the Super Contest, right? So second half of the year, this guy, I swear to God, he must have hit like 75% because he ended up winning a 3-week contest, a 6-week contest, and a 9-week contest. He cashed like $120,000. And so that just goes to show you throw $1,000 down on something like that, and then all of a sudden,
he didn't even win the contest, then he won over 100K.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And we should note, too, one of the reasons.
Gabe, there's 2 of them, 100,000 and 50,000.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about them. I will not be participating in that prize. I won't be anywhere near that.
Hey, I won the 50,000 second booby prize. No thanks.
Now, I don't know all proxies' policy on this, but I do know at times a lot of proxies have been, listen, you're on your own. You don't get me the picks. It is what it is. But Matt will put the picks in for you, too, where it happens sometimes where you never know. Sometimes people are hungover, drunk, computer problems. God knows, maybe they got in a car accident. You know what I mean? Who knows what's going on?
Yep.
Can't get the picks in.
That's true, yeah.
And you'll put the picks in for people, which saves them, Matt, as opposed to like going 0 for 5, which will kill you. And
absolutely, yeah.
You've actually won people money before by putting their picks in, haven't you?
Yeah. So that's a funny story too. Is that we had a guy signed up. He was based in England, and he went on holiday for a few weeks, and then he didn't realize that he was doing pretty good. So he had got off to a good start, and it was one. Yeah, I want to believe it was one of the 6-week contests, and he ended up splitting it, but he won like $30,000. But we had put random picks in for him for 5 weeks. So we were really responsible for 5 out of the 6 weeks, him winning money. And again, it's completely random. I mean, we weren't like handicapping the games and everything, but I'll tell you, there's a button both at Circa and at the Westgate at the kiosk that if you hit it, it's like pick 5, and you could it randomly selects games.
Oh, it's you could just
it's a lottery thing. You get numbers.
Man, I almost want to enter a contest, an entry fee just to do that, Matt. I'm going to tell you, everyone, just hit a random 5, and I'll just do it.
I bet Quick does good. I bet they have a winning record at the end. So, Matt, what do people do? Do you go like with our league or whatever when somebody gets hungover and forgets? We tell the commissioner, take our favorite team, or like, does somebody say favorites, dogs? Like, how do you work it, or you just randomly do it, or do you have early negotiations with people? Because that could be important, right? They say if I'm around, like, it's just
this is completely random. We honestly just hit the button and hope for the best, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But at least it's better than a 0, right?
You're telling me.
Yeah, that's sports betting, though, is that the definition of it? Sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. And there's such a fine line between winning and losing. What do you think the estimated first prize will be for the Superbook this year?
Yeah, so for the Super Contest, I mean, they're looking at a similar number as last year. We had the winner in that contest last year and won about 206,000. So I think you're probably looking at around 200,000 to the winner. But the problem with the Super Contest as it is right now is it's all based on the number of entries. So it's $1,000 an entry. So if they get 1,000 entries, you multiply that together, that's what you get for the prize pool. The good thing about those smaller contests, the 3-week, 6-week, and 9-week contests, those are guaranteed money. So they have a certain amount that they will pay out.
That's right.
Sometimes they'll tie and they'll split it between them, but you'll definitely get a guaranteed amount of money in those contests. The overall prize pool is kind of what's left over. So, and they do have the Super Contest Gold as well, which is a $5,000 winner-take-all contest. We had the winner in that last year. He took home $460,000.
Cool. Awesome stuff. And we're going to enter we're looking for the Circus Survivor. And I'm definitely going to do the Superbook contest as well. I asked about the Nugget one. I know it went away. It used to be the college half football one and everything. Does the Golden Nugget have anything this year?
Yeah, it's still around. The problem is it's not marketed very well, and it is kind of the only college game in town. You'd think they do a little bit better. But as like last week, I inquired, and there was only about 40 entries in there, and that's a little concerning because again, they actually take a small cut, so they take a little bit off the top, and then the remainder goes to the prize pool. And the worst thing about that contest, to be honest with you, Gabe and Cam, is just that it pays out the top 20, but 11 through 20 just get their money back. So it's $1,000 entry fee, and really, you got to finish in the top 10.
We'll wrap up with Matty on the other side.
This property runs this community. A lot of people from this community work here. They're proud of this. This has got a lot of history here. And then when you think about the beauty with the hills, the mountains, the trees, the water.
One thing about this place is one of the words he kept saying, family. It's a place that when my family and everyone comes, they treat you like family. They treat you like you're one of their own. And it's, obviously when you look at the place, you look at the rooms, everything, it's like taking a step back in time. And I think that's an absolutely amazing place to be able to put your phone down and slow everything down. I mean, the world these days is so fast. Everything has to get done so quickly. And every time I've come here with my family at Greenbrier, it's like everything stops and it's slow motion. You actually get to enjoy life, enjoy your time with family.
Just this place feels like I'm a kid again. You get out here and you see nature, you see the trails, you see going on a hike. I grew up in Fresno. We go up to the mountains every once in a while, and that's just kind of what it feels like a little bit. And obviously it's more forested here and whatnot, but the 58, I don't know how to explain it, just kind of semi-blacked out, you can kind of say. It was one of those moments where the last 4 holes, I was obviously trying to win a tournament, but it started to rain, and I just kept focusing on my game. I didn't get outside of this bubble that I created with myself. I just wanted to focus on hitting the next best shot. And I think that's what really pushed me on to focusing on, obviously winning the tournament, but to shoot in the 50s and then ultimately make the 40-foot on the last hole for 58. That was just the cherry on top. And what a special moment, a special place in my heart forever, and probably one of the most special moments of my entire life.
Oh, yeah, football is back, baby. We got CFL football going on, college football rapidly approaching. We got USC and LSU in Las Vegas as well on Labor Day weekend, the Sunday night, the Vegas Kickoff Classic. And it's great, Matt, isn't it? I imagine for you as well. As I remember when I did the show with Don Best, when I met you in the early days, bro, that was UNLV. That was it. You know what I mean? And there was no one ever thought that ever be pro sports. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
Like, that wasn't even on the horizon. Like, it was one of those not even on the horizon, you know?
Yeah. Now it's come a long way, man. Just to think that the Raiders are here and everything, it blows my mind. I mean, they suck right now, but it's still better than nothing. They're still bringing people in. Like, I know you have talked about the opposing fans coming in, and yeah, I mean, they're still filling that place. That's why I think baseball's not going to do too well here, just because I don't think it's going to have the same draw. But the NFL is just king. They bring in fans no matter what.
The Vegas Golden Knights atmosphere and experience has been top of the food chain. It's been amazing.
Yep.
I think the baseball will work only because of that, right? The people, the Dodger fans will come.
But it's summer, though. It's summer. I'm telling you.
I know. That's the thing. They don't really need to. Yeah. And it's a lot of games. That's why they're already, we want to play some of our games elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt.
They'll do better than Oakland, but.
Before we get you out of here, so as I said, I'm going to get into the Superbook contest. I'm going to get into the Circa. Maybe I'll get into the millions as well, but, I got to limit myself to a certain extent. I want to get a couple of survivors in, actually. I don't need 5 or 10, but I wouldn't mind going with 2, considering there is potentially over $10 million on the line. You've got a partner that you've been doing this with forever, Tony, and you guys meet people at the sports book. Said, I'll just let people know the way it works. You set it up, on a Saturday or whatever. And you go to the sports book, you sign up in person, and then for the rest of the year, you don't have to worry about it. Maddie and Tony are going to handle your picks. You just send them your picks. So why don't you let people know where they can get in touch with you, Matt, and where you're going to be over the next couple of weeks?
Sure thing. Well, I mean, we'll be at the Westgate's Superbook, and we'll be at Circa pretty much around the clock every day until football season starts, NFL season, that is. And if you go to footballcontest.com, you'll find out all the information you want to know about all these contests. Proxy.footballcontest.com, you'll be able to see our rates, what we charge for each contest. We'll give you a special promotion. If you use promo code RADIO, you can save $50 off your proxy fee. And we've got everything out there. We've been the leading proxy service for the past 15 years. And we pride ourselves on our customer service. There are a lot of other proxies out there. I wouldn't spend any time with people who've been around 1 or 2 years. I mean, you want to go with the pros, right, Gabe? You want to go with somebody who's been around, seen everything, and has a lot of experience putting in
That's
picks.
why I'm stuck with you. Yeah, that's why I'm stuck with you.
You're a loyal consumer.
We appreciate you.
I'll tell you what, a big mistake I made last year was I got in on a team with Mr. Tony Finn, and I told him, just go with Tony. I said, go to the effing book. You remember I told him. I said, go to the effing book and meet up with Matty and make him the proxy. What do we need a proxy for? I can easily handle this. I said, just do it, Tony. Whatever. We must have missed like 12 picks, Cam, over the year. Like, you know what I
mean? Tony's in charge.
It's the only time I ever got mad at him. I was like, you got to be effing kidding me. I was just like, dude, like, I said, like, what are we doing here? Like, we just entered. What are we doing? Like, you know what I mean?
I can do it.
Remember, I took a shot at him last week. He said, what about the contest? I said, well, I wouldn't trust you to put the picks in. I'll tell you that. But I do trust Vegas Matty and Tony, and we've won with them before. So we've had some good karma over the years together. So I look forward to it. Hopefully we can cash some tickets this year. And I know our boy T-Bone is all over this, and he's super excited for the contest too.
Yeah, T-Bone's itching for it, man. He was out here last week, and love that guy, man. He's going. He wants to get all that Survivor money from Derek. He did a couple of 2 or 3.
I saw him. He did a drug video. I'm coming for your money, Derek. I'm coming for your money.
Is he a professional slot jockey? He's doing good.
He's already spending the money, I think.
Yeah, of course.
He is. He's already talking about moving to Thailand. He saw a house online. I saw. He's like, I'm going to win. I'm going to move to Thailand.
Unbelievable.
There you go.
I'm hoping to win too. I won't move to Thailand, but I'll move somewhere. Hey, Matty, I'll see you at the Circa. It's always a pleasure, my man.
Later,
looking forward to it. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
I ain't moving to Thailand.
this property runs this community. A lot of people from this community work here. They're proud of this. This has got a lot of history here. And then when you think about the beauty with the hills, the mountains, the trees, the water.
One thing about this place is one of the words he kept saying, family. It's a place that when my family, everyone comes, they treat you like family. They treat you like you're one of their own. And it's, obviously when you look at the place, you look at the rooms, everything, it's like taking a step back in time. And I think that's an absolutely amazing place to be able to put your phone down and slow everything down. I mean, the world these days is so fast. Everything has to get done so quickly. And every time I've come here with my family at Greenbrier, it's like everything stops and it's slow motion. You actually get to enjoy life, enjoy your time with family.
Just this place feels like I'm a kid again. You get out here, you see nature, you see the trails, you see going on a hike. I grew up in Fresno. We'd go up to the mountains every once in a while, and that's just kind of what it feels like a little bit. And obviously, it's more forested here and whatnot, but the 58, I don't know how to explain it. Just kind of semi-blacked out, you can kind of say. It was one of those moments where the last 4 holes, I was obviously trying to win a tournament, but it started to rain, and I just kept focusing on my game. I didn't get outside of this bubble that I created with myself. I just wanted to focus on hitting the next best shot. And I think that's what really pushed me on to focusing on obviously winning the tournament, but to shoot in the 50s and then ultimately make the 40-footer on the last hole for 58. That was just the cherry on top. And what a special moment, a special place in my heart forever, and probably one of the most special moments in my entire life.
Let's do this thing. This is Sports Rage. I'm Gabriel Morency. The Thursday Night Throwdown continues. Sirius XM Channel 159 on the SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. I told you guys I thought this game would start to get crazy. The C in the CFL stands for crazy. Also, you could say it stands for chronic, for weed, too, because they don't test. So, a little bit of both. You know what I mean? It's the chronic, it's the crazy football league. Let's bring in a man right now joining us for the first time, but he's got one of the best handles out there, I got to say. How can we not be impressed with the steamroller as Scott Steen steps up and in and joins us from Winners and Winers, heading back to the window, and he rides or dies with Chief Kingdom. Scott, welcome to the Rage. Thanks for taking the time to be with us tonight.
Great to be here, Gabe. And I live in Missouri, a state with legal weed and no legal gambling. So perfect. Just thanks for that.
Which is baffling to me that weed would be legal before gambling in Missouri.
Absolutely. It's going to be on the ballot in November, so maybe we can finally get gambling passed. Luckily, I'm about 15 minutes from Kansas, so I can just drive over there and make all my bets.
All politics. Yeah. You know what, though? Maybe now I should note I am a Buffalo Bills fan, so going to Arrowhead's not on the top of my list. But with the legalization, I'm more interested now. I'm like, oh, listen now. You know what I mean?
We'll hook you up.
I'll be able to soften the blow. And I swear to God, I don't know why do the Bills and Chiefs wear this first place schedule, Scott? We got to play each other every year, man. I'm getting tired of it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
and it always seems to be an Arrowhead.
Well, we're going to Buffalo this year, right? We got you guys on the road.
It's about time.
It's
about time.
Well, and you, I think you guys have a great shot at the regular season win, but we'll see in the playoffs. We'll see what happens.
Oh, the shots are coming. But let me ask you, there's one thing. No teams won 3 Super Bowls in a row before, and winning teams always have a hard time sort of keeping the hunger, the motivation going, keeping a chip on their shoulder. Yet, for whatever reason, I don't know why, like the dude on the Raiders that has a Kermit the Frog doll and stuff, like
the rookie.
Like at what point, guys, would you say, you know what? How about we just say yes, sir, and no, sir, and try to catch them all fat and drunk instead of taunting them and mocking Patrick Mahomes or talking about Kelsey or whatnot? Like the Chiefs. So what I'm saying, for a team that's won as much as they are, let me ask you, Scott, do you feel like this is a hungry football team coming into the year?
I do. I think Andy keeps them hungry, man. I think he resets them about a week after the Super Bowl is over. I think they're ready to go. I think Mahomes, I think he's driven to be the best ever, man. And I think he's got that fire. He's got that hunger every year. You know, you see what he did. You see what he did last year with basically no supporting cast on offense, and he was able to get it done. So it's an amazing thing. It really is. All he needs is 13 seconds or so.
Yeah. All right.
Here we go.
Hey,
double S.
I know.
Kind of addictive.
See, this is why I wish I had a time machine and we could just go back. It's like you sound like a Patriot fan. I got to tell you sound like a Patriot fan before the Brady.
Oh, no.
I'm like, you had a half-empty stadium with Steve Grogan in the old days. I want the Tom Blackledge era.
Net race.
I get Hank Stram. There was a big difference, long stretch between Hank Stram and then the win after.
Yeah, we just met you, Scott. You're fighting hard. Holy jeez, man, this guy's low blows.
Let me tell you something, Gabe. If you haven't guessed, I was a band geek. I actually marched at Arrowhead Stadium at halftime in front of 18,000 people in the season finale against the Jets in 1977, 78.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Cold.
That's hardcore.
Terrible football.
That was Seahawks fan. Scott used to beat us down when we were in the AFC too, with Christian Okoye and Derek Thomas and everybody. So yeah,
that was sort of the when they got good. Yeah, that was like the Steve DeBerg and this stuff.
Yeah.
But like you said though, it's kind of scary to be honest because people are going, how are they going to do without Tyreek Hill? Okay, we saw how they did without Tyreek Hill. Mahomes. Remember Aaron Rodgers had rookie wide receivers that all turned out to be pretty good. He threw them under the bus after 2 weeks. Oh, I can't work with these kids. They don't get it, blah, blah. What did Mahomes do? Hey, I like working with whoever I work with. Let's go. I'm going to throw to the open man. Yet now, guys, you look at the depth chart, you look at the talent here, and I'll take a shot at the Buffalo Bills here. Like if the Kansas City Chiefs facility is on fire and I'm the Bills, I'm not even calling the fire department. I don't want anyone to die, but I'm not calling the fire department. It's your problem. I can't help you. I'm not helping you get Xavier Worthy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even if we didn't want Xavier Worthy, I'm not helping you get him. We already gave you Mahomes. Can you believe this?
I don't understand. You're like Buffalo people are like, here, slap me some more. Here, how about this guy? How about the fastest guy ever at the combine? Would you enjoy him? Like, yeah, we might be able to fit him in somewhere. Sure.
Unbelievable. I lost it, Cam, that night. I did a video. Got like 500,000 hits, actually. I was like, yeah, why don't we hook the Miami Dolphins up next with our second round pick? You know, man, that did get me. I wanted to get their win total up and get some odds up here and see what you think. One thing about when you're the best, you're going to have high odds, and you're going to play in a lot of big time football games, and you're going to the prime time stuff, tough schedule. And one thing about the Chiefs' schedule, absolutely vicious around Christmas time, isn't it? I was talking about it the other night. What is it, 3 games in like 12 days type of deal? Yeah, I'll go over it right now. I'll double check, but it's really, really rough around Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. And, the Chiefs, they got a bad taste in their mouth. They had that Christmas Day game against the Raiders last year, two red zone turnovers, and the Raiders win by a score. So, I guess that's why the guys are talking crap because, you beat us once in 10 years. You're like, okay, well, we got their number now. So, that's you're absolutely right. They've got 3 games in 10 days. They've got at Cleveland.
10 days, Ken. Imagine. 3 games in 10 days, starting on December the 15th.
That's ridiculous.
That's very
nuts.
CFL-like.
It is.
At a late time of the year against tough teams, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And take a look at their first games, Gabe. Their only easy game is against the Saints. Other than that, even like the other games, divisional games, till like week 10. It's like I look at their schedule. I'm like, this is a nightmare. That's tough.
But their division is soft. The Broncos rebuilding. The Raiders are mediocre. The Chargers rebuilding. And they already have injury issues. I'm a Harbaugh guy, but this isn't their year. Their win total is 11.5 here, Scott, I see. Minus 115, 11.5. What do you think about their win total this year? Over, under 11.5.
I don't want to come off as a homer, and I will fade this team. They were a terrible team to bet on last year, as you probably know. But I do like the over total. And the reason I do, whenever I do my win totals, I always look to see who's playing the NFC South this season. And the Chiefs have the NFC South. They've got the AFC North. So they've got Tampa Bay, New Orleans at home. They got Carolina, Atlanta on the road. I think they go 4-0 in that stretch. Of course, they start off the season with Baltimore and Cincinnati. You don't get much more brutal than that. Those are both home games. They've got Cleveland, Pittsburgh on the road. I say they go 2-2 there. We've got the AFC West. We haven't lost more than one game in the AFC West, I think, in 11 or 12 seasons. So let's say we're 5-1 there. They drop one. So that means we've got to get one victory out of San Francisco at home, or San Francisco, Buffalo on the road, or Houston at home. I think they can do it. I think we get to 12.
Man, all those first place. Oh, my God. Calgary were moving the ball, guys. And I'm like, right on cue. It's 28-26, 4 minutes left. And I just look up and I see Ottawa running in the other direction.
Good for the total.
I don't know what the play is, though. I don't know. The ref might have blown it dead. I don't even know what it is. So, to be honest, I just sort of caught it out of the corner of my eye. But 4.5 under review, 4.5 minutes left, 28-26 in this football game. Our plus 8.5 looks good that we jumped in on. So we're kicking it right now with Scott Steen from Winners and Whiners.
Whiners.
And I want to get into well, we've all done it. I want to get into some other win totals on the other side. College football, NFL football, whatever teams you want to talk about and get after. Maybe if you're betting any NFL preseason football as well, as it's this time of the year right now. We were just talking about the Circa Survivor contest. Crazy stuff. Vegas Matty telling us could be $11 million.
Unbelievable. I heard that
for the winner.
That is unreal.
Man. Like I said, that's life-changing money. We're all in. Let's go.
This property runs this community. A lot of people from this community work here. They're proud of this. This has got a lot of history here. And then when you think about the beauty with the hills, the mountains, the trees, the water.
One thing about this place is one of the words he kept saying, family. It's a place that when my family, everyone comes, they treat you like family. They treat you like you're one of their own. And it's, obviously when you look at the place, you look at the rooms, everything, it's like taking a step back in time. And I think that's an absolutely amazing place to be able to put your phone down and slow everything down. I mean, the world these days is so fast. Everything has to get done so quickly. And every time I've come here with my family at Greenbrier, it's like everything stops and it's slow motion. You actually get to enjoy life, enjoy your time with family.
Just this place feels like I'm a kid again. You get out here and you see nature, you see the trails, you see going on a hike. I grew up in Fresno. We go up to the mountains every once in a while, and that's just kind of what it feels like a little bit. And obviously it's more forested here and whatnot, but the 58, I don't know how to explain it, just kind of semi-blacked out, you can kind of say. It was one of those moments where the last 4 holes, I was obviously trying to win a tournament, but it started to rain, and I just kept focusing on my game. I didn't get outside of this bubble that I created with myself. I just wanted to focus on hitting the next best shot. And I think that's what really pushed me on to focusing on obviously winning the tournament, but to shoot in the 50s and then ultimately make the 40-foot on the last hole for 58. That was just the cherry on top. And what a special moment, a special place in my heart forever, and probably one of the most special moments in my entire life.
All right, we're kicking it with the steamroller right now on the Ranger Reddit Cam Stewart. I am Gabriel Morency, Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio and Television Networks. Let's keep talking NFL futures right now. And Scott's already taken a couple of pot shots at my Buffalo Bills. But let's take a look at their win totals right now. I'm looking at a book right now. I'm looking at a book here right now. They got three different numbers up for each team. So Buffalo Bills over 9.5, minus 150. Buffalo Bills over 10.5, plus 130. Buffalo Bills 11.5 over is plus 240. What do you think about the Buffalo Bills season win total this year, Scott?
I took the one in the middle. I've got under 10.5. By the way, I think the Chiefs are really going to have another great season because we've ordered 74 cases of thermometers, hired a special Russian assistant to spare mercury in the helmets of the opposing teams. So I really like our chances. We're going to be a hell of a
Yeah, you know what?
Chest
I
poisoners.
talked about that story last night on the program, actually, by chance. And I like the fact it says she could face 3 years in prison. It's like only 3 years for poisoning someone, but she's going to be banned.
It's polonium. It's like 2 years and you're done. Your house arrest.
It's a free-for-all. So you're looking at the middle one there. The Buffalo Bills don't. So you're thinking a 10-7 type of team this year for the Bills?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, and it is really juicy, Gabe. And that's my only problem with that. You're paying 140, 150 right now, but the Bills match up this season with the AFC South and the NFC West. They've got out of the South, they got Jacksonville, Tennessee at home. They got Houston and Indy on the road. I give them 2-2 there. I think they win both of those home games. I don't think they win either road game. I think Indy gets them, and I think Houston gets them. And I think, or if they didn't get Indy on the road, I think Jacksonville gets them at home. Either way, I think they go 2-2 there. They've got Arizona, San Francisco at home. That's 1-1. They've got the Rams and Seattle on the road. I'm going to be generous and say they win one of those road games. I'm not convinced, but I'm going to call it 2-2 there. I say they go 4-2 against the East. Then they got the Chiefs at home. They've got Houston and Detroit on the road. For them to get there, if my math works out, they've got to sweep those first-place teams. I don't think that happens.
I had the Bills winning 11 games this year, but you just highlighted it. They play a lot of first-place teams and a lot of good teams. I mean, and just, Kansas City, as you say, to San Francisco, Houston. It's a who's who. You're basically playing a who's who of the National Football League on a weekly basis. And I'm not concerned about the Bills' offense, but defensively, I do have some concerns about the secondary. And big news for the Bills today, although whatever. Like I said, it's almost like the Van Der Esch guy on the Cowboys before. He's always hurt. Matt Milano's always hurt. But it sucks that Matt Milano's hurt. And I guess at least it's good news, Cam. At least they know now. But Matt Milano's been hurt for years, bro. It's just too bad. Good football player, but he's always hurt.
Great football player.
Absolutely, and I think Leighton Vander Esch is a great comp. That's a guy that was, when he was on the field, an absolute monster. He's a great player at Boise State, right?
Yes.
And he just couldn't stay healthy, and there was a lot of freak stuff. It wasn't like, oh, the same knee's hurt again. He would get new and unique injuries just to him, and it seems like some guys just run that way, and it sucks.
Yeah, guys that play hard. You're right. It's too bad. It wasn't like he was soft or, you know what I mean? It was like, no, it's just sort of bad luck because he loves the game so much. Same with Milano. Loves the game. And I brought it up earlier. Without Milano, the Bills always get picked apart over the middle of the field. He's their best, pass defender at the linebacker position.
Take Kelsey out of the game. He's done it before.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but they're going to have to figure out how to replace that.
How long's he out, Gabe?
He's going to be done for the year.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. That's absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy, too?
Go ahead.
So I was just going to say, I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan, but I didn't get J.J. McCarthy out for the year.
Yeah.
Just sucks for him. Looked so good in the preseason game against the Raiders, threw 2 touchdown passes. It was only a matter of time before he was going to take over. And I liked the Vikings over to 6.5 in the offseason, looking at it, thinking, come on, they can win 7-8 football games. But they lose McCarthy. Addison gets arrested. He's going to get suspended. Hell, I know he didn't get majorly injured, but it seems like their camp is off to a pretty bad start here. And kind of like we just talked about players camp and Scott, but the Vikings have just been cursed over the last couple of years with injuries, especially at the quarterback position.
Yeah. And Cousins was playing some of the best ball of his career last year before he got hurt. That was a real tragedy, too. I really wanted to see how he finished that out, but it was not to be.
Are you buying into the Falcons? Now they bring in Judon. They sign Sim. They keep signing people every day right now. They're stacking up the Falcons, especially on defense now.
Man, I think 9.5 is just a bridge too far for me. I wouldn't. 8.5, I would consider it, but just 9.5. Even though they play in the NFC.
What about
South,
to win a division? Are they the best team in the division?
I guess in the land of the barefoot, the man with one shoe is king. So, yeah, I think
And I don't want to take a shot at my boy Cam here, but I've been on Cam, and Cam standing his ground at the Carolina Panthers go over 5.5. And I said, I just don't see it. What do you think, Scott?
I'd book that for Cam if he's looking for somewhere.
I'm there, Scott, in Kansas City. I'll send you the dough.
Cam,
I'll make your Royals jersey. Yes.
But what am I missing? What am I missing about the Panthers that makes you confident?
That's what I
asked. Last year, like J.C. Horn was out most of the year. I think Bryce Young with another year under his belt. Canales is a guy that really got the most out of Baker Mayfield. He is now their coach. I think 1 year makes a huge difference. He was a deer in the headlights. They've improved a little bit. Gabe's right, though. The receivers are a little bit of a problem. I wish they had more talent. Like if DJ Moore was still there, I'd feel very confident about it. But I just think that Panthers, and here's another thing, Scott, and I told Gabe this, it's not about the Panthers being good. It's about the crappy division. And you can get wins. Yeah. I think the Saints are going to be a horrible football team. And I kind of think the Bucs take a step backwards. I'm kind of alone on that island. I think the Falcons win the division, but I see a lot of bad football teams there. I think we can get to 6. That's all that's my take.
Well,
my take is
you can go 3-3 in the division, you got a shot.
Yes.
I was going to say, even if like they double their output, which would be a nice improvement, that only gets them to 4.
Yeah, triple.
That's the way I look at it. I'm not buying in that. Yeah, they're going to triple it.
They've also got the Raiders. They've also got the Raiders and Broncos on their schedule.
They do.
You know, that should be at least one win there.
Maybe
this could be Bryce Young's last year there. Like this is a big year.
Yeah,
for him. As crazy as that sounds.
This property runs this community. A lot of people from this community work here. They're proud of this. This has got a lot of history here. And then when you think about the beauty with the hills, the mountains, the trees, the water.
One thing about this place is one of the words he kept saying, family. It's a place that when my family, everyone comes, they treat you like family. They treat you like you're one of their own. And it's, you know, obviously when you look at the place, you look at the rooms, everything, it's like taking a step back in time. And I think that's an absolutely amazing place to be able to put your phone down and slow everything down. I mean, the world these days is so fast. Everything has to get done so quickly. And every time I've come here with my family at Greenbrier, it's like everything stops and it's slow motion. You actually get to enjoy life, enjoy your time with family.
Just this place feels like I'm a kid again. You get out here and you see nature, you see the trails, you see going on a hike. I grew up in Fresno. We go up to the mountains every once in a while, and that's just kind of what it feels like a little bit. Obviously, it's more forested here and whatnot, but the 58, I don't know how to explain it, just kind of semi-blacked out, you can kind of say. It was one of those moments where the last 4 holes, I was obviously trying to win a tournament, but it started to rain, and I just kept focusing on my game. You know, I didn't get outside of this bubble that I created with myself. I just wanted to focus on hitting the next best shot. And I think that's what really pushed me on to focusing on, obviously winning the tournament, but to shoot in the 50s and then ultimately make the 40-foot on the last hole for 58. That was just the cherry on top. And what a special moment, a special place in my heart forever, and probably one of the most special moments in my entire life.
$29-28. Did I not tell you guys before? I was like, every Calgary game's the same thing. They're down all night. They come back and they win by 1 point. They're laying 3 points, though, and it's a 2nd and 8 with about $1:20 left in this football game. But just a typical wild CFL wild game, 29-28. Looks like, I don't know, Ottawa might get the ball back, actually, here still, too. So there's some craziness. All right, before we get Scott out of here, we got a couple of minutes. We were just talking about NFL futures. We were talking about the Atlanta Falcons. You brought up we brought up Minnesota, but what do you think about the Vikings now with the injuries here and Sam Darnold locked in and J.J. McCarthy out for the year, Scott?
Well, there's a lot of places that have taken this down off the board. I've got it at 75 or under 7.5, but man, it is too much juice. I'm waiting for that number to come down. I'm not even afraid to play it at 6.5, and I'm waiting for a good 6.5 because it's listed right now at 160 plus. I'm not paying that on a future, but I'm waiting for a reasonable price at 6.5. Minnesota plays the AFC South and the NFC West. They've got Houston, Indy at home, Jacksonville, Tennessee on the road. Call that 2-2. They've got San Francisco and Arizona at home, Seattle and the Rams on the road, 1-3 there as they pick up the win against Arizona and no one else. They have ATL at home, have Giants on the road, and they have the Jets in London. I think they go 1-2 there. They're gonna get a win against the Jets or the Giants, likely the Giants, of course. So I think they go 2-4 in their own division. That means they need to pick up 2 extra wins somewhere in that schedule. I don't see it. I am absolutely fine playing under 6.5. I don't think they get to 6.
Scott, where can people find you online and find you on Twitter?
You can find me at winnersandwhiners.com. I've got daily video plays up there as well as premium picks. And you can find me on Twitter at Steenroller, STEEHNROLLER.
Awesome stuff, Scott. Thanks a lot for taking the time to be with us. We'll definitely do it again. Thanks for kicking with us.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Looking forward to it. Good luck this year.
Great stuff with Scott tonight. We could have went on and on, but we're coming up against it right now. This football game's coming down to the wire as well. It's crazy. 29-28, 43 seconds left. Ottawa have the football like their own 30-yard line. They have a pretty good field goal kicker, but he's not like a dude that's going to drill like a 65-yarder. I don't know. Lewis Ward, I think I might have seen him make like a 59-yarder, Cam. But to me, he's more of one of these 45 and in type guys.
Yes.
He's not like a cannon guy.
I'm surprised, like we talk about with the NFL teams, like these CFL kickers inside 45, a lot of them are money. Like if I had a problem with a guy in the NFL who's erratic except for Boris Beatty, Gabe, of course, but those are guys you'd be looking at because they miss a lot of extra points and short field goals. But in the CFL, they're consistently, they nut things inside 40 for fun.
Wow, there's just a crazy catch there.
What happened? Oh, I thought it was a pick.
It wasn't a crazy catch, but it was just one of those. Come on, the game could have been over, and he catches
Crazy
it
football league. Man. I know, they're both on the ground. I didn't know who had the damn ball.
The defensive back on Calgary did a good job. He was behind the player, the ball came in, and he stuck his hand in front, except by chance, the ball bounced in the air right to the wide receiver off the DB's hand. And it wasn't his fault. All you can say is, dude, try to hit it down, but... Yeah. What's the flag now here? This is just like, I got Calgary on the money line here. So last thing I need is a last second field goal.
Ottawa
holding on Ottawa. It's a holding
penalty
on Ottawa coming up. That doesn't help. All right, Cam. So the golf here, St. Jude, Chris Kirk had a great opening round today, but Scotty Scheffler is currently the favorite to win at plus 260. Xander Schauffele 6-1. Hideki's 8-1. Rory's 14-1. Chris Kirk is actually 28-1 right now. How do you think this plays out?
I think, well, obviously, Scheffler and Schauffele came out together, and they were on fire, Gabe. I thought they were going to shoot like 8 or 9 under, but just playing with each other and stuff, and they just kind of winded down and worked better on the back nine. Morikawa played well. Again, it's the missed putts. I would look at actually Tommy Fleetwood might be a good live bet. I found 15-1 out there. He looked very, very comfortable on this course, but you know him. He has a problem closing in North America, closes way better in Europe on the European tour. But him and Morikawa for a live play, but your boy's going to be there. Gabe Schauffele and Scheffler look great. Like these guys are just consistently great. And shout out to Hideki with a new caddy and team. He played really well today. Very solid round.
Well, Jeremiah Masoli, oh my God.
Huge. That was a huge play. Oh, God.
Yeah, Masoli just made a play with a second left, and to get the first down, then the guy fumbled it. But I think they're going for the field goal now. There's no time on the clock. There's one play coming up right now. This is wild.
Yeah, it is. The CFL's amazing. You said it.
Oh, he's out of bounds, so he fumbled. They're going to go for the field goal. Here we go.